Hi there, this is a quick video on the rotations for the Year 4 and 5 teams. I have the same presentation on the primary information evening, but this is just a quick, shorter version for those wanting to know how to do them. Firstly, there is a set way of doing these rotations, and you use the yellow book as your guide. It just helps everyone being on the same page with the rules, and then we also know what we're looking at when we're checking these rotations. In your book, right at the beginning, there is a page where you can write down your team and you can put in who's having their full and their half games if you've got more than 7 players, which most of you will have. So 1 stands for full game. It's just an easy way of writing it. You can put F, I don't know, half game, or if anyone's away, whatever you're going to put in there as well. So the first thing you do is work out each week who's having the full games, who's having the half games, who's away. The first week for me, my team was on the Team 1 rotations. How did I know this? You check the draw. If you were on the left-hand side of the draw, you were Team 1. If you are on the right-hand side of the draw, you do the Team 2 rotations. On the app, the top team is Team 1, and the bottom team is Team 2 rotations. So for the first week, it's pretty easy. You work out who's having the first full games, half games, and you put your players in their positions and where they're going to start. So Lucy here started at goal shoot and then went to wing attack, goal D and goal keep. The people having half games were George and Sharon. Basically, you write them like this. George has the first half, goal D, goal keep. Sharon comes on at half time, wing D centre. Half time is the only time you make changes for our substitutes on our Year 4 and 5 games, unless it's injury. But yeah, you always make the changes at halftime. It makes it's simple, easy, keeps everything straight. Okay, there's a couple of tips that you need to remember when you come to do the second week. So the first week's easy, done. Second week, third week, fourth week, that's when it gets tricky. The first tip is that you always look at your full game to full game players each week. So last week, who was the full game player? Gail, and she's having a full game the second week. So that's the player that those are the players that you do first for your rotations. Second thing you need to work out after looking at the draw is working out what rotation you're on. So if you're team 1 the first week and then the following week you're team 1, you look at that little picture in your book where it says a game for all and there's a little box with the key underneath it. Team 1 to team 1, or if you're team 2 to team 2 the second week, the kids always start on the last position that they started on the week before. If you are team 1 to team 2 or team 2 to team 1 the following week, you start the kids on the first position from the week before. So in this case, I'm going to be looking at Gail, because I know that she was 1 week she had a full game and the second week she's having a full game. So I've looked at the draw. I'm doing the team 1 rotations. Gail ended up team 1 to team 1, start on the last position. She ended up at wing D. So team 1 to team 1, I need to put her down here. Gail, excuse the writing, it's very tiny and very hard. So she starts at wing D because that's where she ended up at the week before. If I was to be doing the team 2 rotations, she would start on the first position that she started the week before, which would be here. Sorry, G's not very good. Gail. So that's where she would start. And if you had a look, she did wing A, goal D, goal keep, wing D. Wing D, centre, goal attack, goal shoot. That's all 7 positions in 2 weeks. If she starts at wing A here, she does the same thing. Goal shoot, goal attack, centre. So that's again the 7 positions that over the 2 weeks. So we're still sticking from team 1 to team 1. My other full-time player was Peter. Peter ended up at wing attack the week before, so that's where I start him for the second week. Oh, I can't do a P. So there's Pete. Okay, and then my other player is Vicky. Vicky is ended up at goal attack, so that's where Vicky will start, and I'll just do Vic. Okay, always do those full game to full game players first. Full game to full game, done. Now I need to look at who had a half game last week and who's having a full game this week. I could also at this stage have a look at anyone who was away the first week and put those players in. So Annie was away, or I could put Annie in later. It's completely up to you. But right now I'm going to work on my half game to my full game players. And last week it was Sharon and it was George. So Sharon had a half game, and you have a look, she did wing D centre. So let's have a look at something that doesn't contain wing D centre that could be quite good for Sharon. So I could actually put Sharon up the top here. Lovely, shares. Because there's no wing D centre there. George did goal D, goal keep. So I could put him in the middle here. That looks pretty good because there's nothing in there that's got goal D, goal keep. I could put him down here too, or I could put him here. It doesn't matter if he repeats goal keep again, but he's certainly, all those other 3 positions are quite good. But if I put him here, he's repeating those 2 positions again. So ideally one of these 2 spots, but I'm going to put him here because I think that's a better fit for George. And then I'm going to put my half gamers in last. Okay, my half game people who are Michelle and Lynette this week. And so what I want to do for them is look at the positions that they did last week. So Lynette did goal attack, goal shoot, wing attack, goal D. What's left where she's kind of not going to be repeating those if she had a half game. So any of these would be fine for Lynette. Let's have a look at Michelle. Michelle last week did wing D centre, goal attack, blah, blah, blah. That one there, this one here, would probably not be a good idea for Michelle, but she could start off doing the first half, because she is having a half game, so I'll just put Mick, because goal D, goal keep, and she didn't do that last week. So if you have a look, she didn't do that, so she could do goal keep, goal D this week. And that means that I can put Lynette down here at wing D centre because she didn't do any of those positions. So I'll just put Lynn. It's terrible writing. Which leaves Annie. And Annie wasn't here, so it doesn't matter where Annie goes. She can go in there. Now, the other thing we've got to check, I've got 2 boys in this team. Do not want them to end up in the goal circle together. So I need to go through and check. So the week before they weren't in this goal circle together. This week, here they are, Pete and George, if you can read my writing. But wing attack centre, goal D, goal attack, goal keep, goal shoot, perfectly fine. Opposite ends of the court, not a problem. Wing D, wing A, they're not in the goal centre together. So, I mean the goal circle together, so that's fine. If you did find that one of the boys was in the goal circle with another boy at the same time at one of the quarters, then you would have to move one, otherwise it's an instant loss by default. So just move one of those boys, and if you, by doing that, means that some of the kids end up repeating positions, please don't fret, just sort it out the following week. The same with if you get through this whole process and you've realised that some of these players have ended up repeating a couple of positions, please don't fret, do not do the whole thing again, don't spend hours on it, just put a mark that you know that this kid here, Annie, has repeated positions, or Michelle has, and the following week you will fix it up and make sure they do not repeat those 2 positions or whatever it is the following week. What we are looking for is if players are playing consistently the same positions week after week after week. If we know you've made a mistake or you've got boys in the team, that's fine. Just make a mark, like I say, or a note, and you will fix them up. That's not a problem. So just going back, so that was our team 1 to team 1. But if I was team 1 to team 2 or team 2 to team 1, remember I've got to start them in that first position. So Peter then would start at centre, he would start here, and Vicky would start at, where did she end up? At goal keep. She would start where she ended up starting the week before. And what would happen with a lot of those teams, when you get your yellow card, you'll pretty much be writing out the same positions or in the same order, the kids in the same order. But anyway, that's the tip. That's the video on how to do it. If you have any issues or any problems, please give me a call or email me. Was probably the best actually. But yeah, good luck. Or ask us at the control room. Yep, good luck.